Okay, so hello there, cousin. This is your cousin, and I am going to do a tutorial for you, which is with really horrible voiceover. Because there's not really any good tutorial. So you're gonna have to make sure you extract the line drawing for this, which means pretty much gets rid of like the horrible lighting. It makes it easier for you to see when you're drawing over it. I'd recommend not drawing on there first and tracing over it. I'd recommend doing a physical drawing and then tracing over it with the IBIS paint. So always make sure you start a new layer or else you're gonna have to, it's gonna really suck. So always make sure you make a new layer before you start drawing. So basically how I do it is you just make a line really fast until you get it right. It doesn't have to be perfect. It like never has to be perfect. This is why I use the Liquidify tool a lot when I'm drawing because it helps to make the lines like going in the right direction. You gotta make it pretty big though, or else it looks kind of weird. But yeah, so I use it a lot. You don't have to use it if you can make pretty straight, well, not straight, but pretty decent lines. And always make sure you overlap a bit. And you can erase it later. It'll be fine if you erase it later. Like I'm about to do. Yeah, because if it doesn't overlap, it's really hard and you're just gonna drive yourself crazy. But the key to this to the lines not being shaky is going super fast. Of course there is some style. If it's your style, it's for them to be messy, that's definitely a thing. Just if you want the lines to be clean and straight, then doing it fast is the way to go. And there's a lot of undoing in this process, so it's okay if you have to undo it multiple times before you get it right. And it's okay if it doesn't look exactly like the drawing underneath it, because sometimes the drawing underneath it isn't perfect either, and that's how digital art helps. You can fix stuff. So as you can see here, I'm struggling a bit with the ear shape because curves are pretty hard to draw with this formatting, but when you do them like how you would draw on a piece of paper, it gets really shaky as well. So it's okay if you keep having to try a ton of times before you get it right. And I also use the Liquidify tool, the special tool. You gotta make sure you're on drag for sure, but to refine the shape out a bit more. It looks a bit weird at first when you use it, but when you get the hang of it, it's kind of a lifesaver, honestly. So then I started, refining the rest of the drawing. Like I said before, the key to this is fast strokes and using the special tool as much as you can, getting familiar with that, and making sure that you overlap lines. And when you're done, you usually clean the rest all of these lines up. But I mean, don't get too crazy cleaning them up because when you're done, nobody's really gonna see. I didn't have time to, or I didn't have space in my computer to film doing the entire thing because it took a pretty long time. But this is pretty much shows the basic gist of it and how I do line art. Of course, if you're doing it like how you do it on paper is your style, it'll look a little messier, but that is a style. But I would advise using a different brush for that than the default brushes. And the best thing about the easiest way to use the special tool is make sure it's really big. Because when it's small, it just makes little indents in the it makes little indents in the drawing, and it looks weird. So if you want to make a big change, you make it really big, or a lot bigger than you think it needs to be. I'm gonna do a video next on how I do the art, like not the art, the coloring. Obviously, I didn't script this. Oh, look, and I forgot I didn't have enough room on the paper to draw her shoulder, so I had to draw it in here, which kind of sucks because I hate drawing outlines in here.